Welcome back, PetaPixel viewers. It is Niccolls here, and I want to introduce to you two brand new Fujifilm X-mount lenses. We have the XF 16-55 f2.8 version 2 and a brand new 500mm f5.6 telephoto. These are pre-production, so we can't do any testing on it, but if you stick around, I promise you not only a hilarious ad, but also various pictures of waterfowl.
Chris, what are you doing on my computer?
Oh, hey Jordan, when I think you're gone or away or whatever, I just use your computer to browse the dark web. I download massive files, weird videos, stuff like that. Even the same one, multiple places on your computer.
What? Why?
Well, I don't want to do it on my own computer. Why are you upset? This computer's running great despite all the terrible stuff I'm doing to it.
Chris, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, years.
Chris, I am furious, but I also need to explain to you that the reason my Mac runs so well is I've been using Clean My Mac for years.
See, I wasn't even inconveniencing you. I don't know what you're so upset about.
Well, no, but Clean My Mac has kept my Mac a well-organized, restful haven from the chaos you bring me every single day. It declutters my downloads, helps me track down large or duplicate files, and helps keep my gorgeous Mac free of malware like the stuff you've been exposing my baby to. And the latest version has a gorgeous intuitive interface that makes Mac maintenance a pleasure, not a chore. And if you want the peace of mind that Clean My Mac has brought me, you can download it right now from the MacPaws website, Apple Mac Store, or Set app. Click the link in the description below for a free 7-day trial.
Now you may have noticed the frame is quite interesting right now. That's because Jordan is shooting me on the Fujifilm 500mm f5.6. When I'm talking about the 1655, he'll be shooting on the 500, and then I'm sure he'll be very happy when we finally switch over. I'll talk about the 500 and he can shoot on the 1655. So keep an eye out for that. So we have this new version 2 of the 16-55 f2.8. This is meant to be Fujifilm's high-end professional general purpose zoom for X-mount cameras. Now the first thing that you notice, it's very dramatic. This lens is a little bit smaller physically, but way lighter. We're down to 410 grams, fifth of a knocked. That's down from 655 grams on the original version. That's a substantial weight savings. Now you notice it when you're holding the lens, absolutely, but also in the lens barrel itself. It does tend to zoom with a lighter feel. It's a little bit more plasticky, but it doesn't have any slop or play. It feels quite solid. We're now down to a 72mm filter diameter from the 77 that we used to have, and overall it just seems a little bit more compact in the hand. Make no mistake though, this still has linear autofocusing motors to drive those elements quickly. It still seems to be built fairly well, and it is weather resistant, basically the same standard as the first version. And we now have an aperture ring which can be set for either clickable or declickable functionality. This is absolutely aimed at maybe more videographer use. Absolutely, if you want to float this on a gimbal, it's going to be a lot lighter and a lot easier to do that. And regardless, it's just nicer weight to carry around the whole day. So I have to say, it's kind of comical shooting this way with the 500mm. If I move my head even a little bit, Jordan assures me I'm out of frame and everything looks green screened. I'm shouting at him to communicate because we're so far away physically from each other right now. Might as well just shot this in the studio in front of a green screen, I guess. It would look the same. But for this close-up shot, we might as well talk about the close-up features on this new lens. If you've got a general purpose lens like this and you're walking around, you want it to be versatile. So this actually does give us a very good close-up capability for macro work. 0.2 times magnification. I mean, that's 1 to 5 times life-size reproduction. That's not going to win any macro awards, but for the occasional close-up shot, it's not bad. Okay, I'm going to do my best not to shout here because even though the camera's like half a kilometer away, the lav mic's picking me up just fine, I hope. So there's two other things that I absolutely want to test when we get a production copy. I can't do it yet, but first off, it's resolution. Now, Fujifilm always claimed the original 16-55 2.8 was able to support the 40 megapixel sensors they make. And you know what, it is a decently sharp lens, but this is supposed to be even sharper, so I want to see that. The second thing as well is bokeh. I mean, a lens like this with an f2.8 aperture, you can absolutely shoot shallow depth of field shots, and so it's supposed to have less onion rings, a little bit more pleasing bokeh, and it should have nicer focus transitions, so I want to play with that as well. You know, regardless, no matter how you look at it, we've got a new 16-55, which is much, much lighter, more compact. Those are always positive things, so I think that's going to make a lot of sense on the more compact APS-C bodies, and I cannot wait to try out a production copy of this. Now let's give Jordan some more creative choices with focal length, and I'm going to take the 500mm. Okay, and look at that. I'm closer to the camera. Jordan and I are together again. Now let's talk about the Fujinon 500mm f5.6. And it just feels familiar. Like, I don't know, Jordan, why? I have some vague recollection. I've filmed a 500 5.6 review.
Yeah, me too. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, it's because it was for the GFX, that's right. And you know, yes, make no mistake, this is based off of the GFX design. It's almost identical as far as optical formulas go. Now, of course, we can't test this lens, but if you want to have an idea of how sharp it is, just watch our 500mm 5.6 GFX review and ignore the already insanely sharp corner sharpness, because this will just be carving out the beautiful center portion of that lens. Indeed, it is very similar in weight and size. You got that same 95mm filter thread on there, big protective hood here to protect the front. This is fully weather sealed. It's a very rugged lens, meant for rugged outdoor use. I said rugged 3 times, now 4, now maybe 5. Okay. I like that I can remove the tripod foot if I want to save a bit of weight, and it is cut for Arca Swiss style tripods. Love that. Otherwise, we've got our focus limiter. We've got a 5.5 stop image stabilizer built into the lens, so I can control that here as well. And again, it's just very familiar, but they did manage to shave off a tiny bit of weight. This is down from the original 1,375 grams on the GFX version, now to 1,335 grams. I mean, that's 40 grams. And of course, one of the nice things about shooting this on APS-C X mount is this 500mm actually gives us a 750mm full frame equivalent focal length. And so I'm getting good reach for the birds that I'm finding out here on the water. And if I've got a couple BILPHs, those are birds I like to photograph, not flying through the sky, well, I can capture those quite well too. Now, of course, I wouldn't exactly call the working distance here close-up focusing. I mean, this thing can get down to a minimum of just under 3 meters of distance to my subject, but because I'm getting that 750mm equivalent full frame focal length, I can actually do some okay macro shots. I mean, again, about 0.2 times magnification, with not bad for the occasional close-up when you're spying on birds. Okay, so you don't just lose 40 grams of weight here, something else gets knocked off as well, and that's the $500 off the price of this lens compared to the GFX version. So yeah, it is still a very expensive lens, absolutely, but I think for professionals looking for something very high-end with that faster f5.6 aperture, I'm confident this lens is going to give you very sharp results, because we've seen something very similar on the GFX before. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that first little look at these two lenses. I know we can't do a lot of testing, but when we get production lenses, we absolutely will. Otherwise though, thanks for joining us. I did make you sit through an ad, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I did get you pictures of waterfowl just like I promised. So leave your comments below, let us know what you think. Do check out the PetaPixel podcast on this exact same channel, or all your favorite podcasting apps. You can listen to us while you're taking bird photos out at the lake. Check out store.petapixel.com. You'll see all our merch. Thanks for joining us as always. We'll see you soon with more on PetaPixel.
So fresh, so fresh.